All right, we are live. Thank you everybody for coming out and watching this. We've got a pretty exciting guest for everybody tonight. Ernesto from the Dash team is going to be giving us some updates about what they've been up to, including some exciting use cases down there in Venezuela where he's actually at. But before we do that, we're going to just do the quick OpEI intro. My name is Matt. Chill Breimer is my co-founder at the Open Economy Initiative, and we are on a mission to promote crypto commerce through education, and we're doing that through our website and an educational course that we have on Udemy. If you're looking to purchase some cryptocurrency, please check that out. It's called Buying Bitcoin the Right Way, and we've got some coupon and discount codes for everybody at the end who might be interested in that. So yeah, with that out of the way, we can kind of just jump into it. Ernesto, thank you for joining us, man.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me, and it's going to be a really good time to share.
Oh no, did we lose him?
Yeah, he just said it's gonna be a really good.
Oh no! Of course, that would happen, just like that. The worst possible moment. That's right. We'll get it. We'll get him back here.
Yeah, I can hear you now. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yes, I can. I can. You were about to say something awesome, and it froze on us. If you want to take another run at it.
Sure. I just wanted to say that thank you for having me here. It's great to share with you and your audience what we're all about in Dash, and share with you what we're doing around the world, because we have different communities operating and growing the ecosystem in the US, in Europe, South America, in Venezuela, where I am right now. And it's going to be a great couple of minutes here sharing.
Awesome. Well, cool. Yeah, I think if you had a few slides that you wanted to share, if you want to share your screen there and take us through those, or was there something else you wanted to touch on before we got there?
Cool. Please let me know when you can see my screen. And
there we go. Yep, I see it now.
All right. So as I mentioned, I'm going to talk to you about what we're doing in Dash. And, Dash is short for digital cash. So we're all about payments, making money available in different places around the world. And you can ask any questions you have. That's my Twitter account at Ernesto Contreras. So if you see this later, you can shoot a question there. I'll be more than happy to respond later. So basically, what is Dash? We are making payments as quick, easy, secure, and inexpensive as possible. We're a cryptocurrency, and we are working to provide financial freedom for everyone. So cryptocurrency has this issue that it's mostly complicated to use. So we're working hard to be able to provide cryptocurrency utility for individuals, businesses, developers, and network operators. So if you see Dash around the world, you will see that we're focusing on solving problems. Cryptocurrency is great, but one thing that we see all around the world is that many crypto projects found a solution, and then they go and try to find a problem to solve that, to solve with that solution they built. In Dash, we're focusing on solving payment problems, and this includes, the traditional payment methods that have problems, the services that take too long, the risk of exposing sensitive data, fiat money problems, and a very bad user experience for crypto. So basically in Dash, we are focusing on finding the greatest need and solving it where we have the greatest fit. This means that we're constantly working on being easy to use. We are instant. A Dash transaction takes about 2 seconds. It costs less than a cent of dollar. Secure. It doesn't have any borders, and it allows for some kind of privacy. So when you use it, you don't need to expose all of your information on the blockchain. How do we do it? Well, we're a payment method. We have the Dash digital currency. We're working on a developer platform, and there's many applications for Dash. So what does this mean? This means, that we have instance and microfees. We have a decentralized autonomous organization, and I'll talk more about that later. And this means that Dash is self-funded. Unlike other crypto networks, Dash allows for the Dash network to have funds for research and development, for some marketing and growth, conferences, and so on. And, just to give a little bit of comparison on how Dash can serve the payments issue better than Bitcoin, for example, I'll tell you that a Dash transaction is confirmed in about 2 seconds. A Bitcoin transaction takes about 10 minutes. It's settled, in this is an old slide, but it's settled immediately because of a feature called chain locks. This was reduced from 15 minutes to a few seconds. The fee is less than 1 cent of a dollar, and it has on-chain governance and a maximum supply of 18 million Dash. Two of the most important features of Dash is instant send, which allows for the transactions to be fully confirmed without needing to wait 1, 2, 3, or 6 confirmations, as you can do in Bitcoin. And it has a treasury system. This treasury system allows Dash to have a growing ecosystem and communities around the world, which is basically a proposal system where anybody around the world can go to the Dash network, submit a proposal, and if it's funded, then they can get the resources they need to make that project a reality. So I'll go a little bit more into what's the meaning of being self-funded.
Okay.
On Bitcoin, yeah.
Oh no, no, go for it. Yep, I can hear you. Everything is good.
Thank you. So on Bitcoin, 100% of the mining goes to the miners. This is great, and it means that basically all of the funds in Bitcoin go for security. In Dash, we took that a step forward and we said, well, what if we create a second layer of nodes, and we call them master nodes, and they provide certain services to the community? And also, what if we can help the community grow? So the mining allocation in Dash goes 45% to the miners, who are paid to secure the network, and they work just like every other cryptocurrency network. Then there's a second set of nodes called master nodes. They provide a service to the network, including that instance and transactions. When you broadcast a transaction on Dash, when you send some Dash to somebody, it first gets broadcasted to a subset of these master nodes who confirm and then send that transaction to the rest of the network, and that allows for that 2-second transactions. There's a group of other services that master nodes provide, but this is one of the most easy ones to explain. And another service that master nodes provide is voting for those projects that I mentioned. And those projects get 10% of the block reward. This means that if somebody has a startup and wants to get a couple $1,000, $10,000, $20,000 to take their startup to the next level by including Dash, this group can submit a project to dashcentral.org, and then if the master nodes conclude that this will help grow the Dash ecosystem, this group can get some funds and grow. And we've seen this happen all around the world. And it's actually what I'm going to show you on the next slide. There's
That's cool. That's really cool. I want to just since we were talking about the mining, we had a question in the chat, and someone had asked, is Dash a proof of work or a proof of stake coin? And it's kind of hybrid? Am I correct there, or is it?
Yeah, it's proof of work. We work with the X11 algorithm, but the masternode network has an element of staking because you need to have 1,000 Dash in order to run a masternode. But what that means is that it's allowing people that are interested in the growth of Dash to provide these services. So it is proof of work, and we were basically the first network, at least that I know of, that provided this kind of staking type of system, because when you put your 1,000 Dash in a masternode and you provide that service, if you comply with a service level, like your masternode has to be up more than, I think it's 90-something% of time and so on, you get a reward in Dash. So it is proof of work, but it's got an element of staking.
Okay, so okay, so hopefully that SH, it looks like they said, okay, so the mining layer is proof of work, the masternodes operate as a proof of stake. That's I think that sounds accurate. Okay, awesome, thank you.
Sure, and the result of having a treasury is that you have different funded organizations around the world. I don't have the exact number, but there's more than 100 organizations that have received funding from Dash. And this includes Dash Core Group, which is the team that I work for, and they're based in the US. There's Dash Brazil in Brazil. There's a couple of teams in Venezuela, including Dash Mall, Dash Help, Dash Text. There used to be an organization called Dash News in the UK, the DAC Embassy in Germany, Dash Nigeria, Dash Thailand, and a lot of other teams that have helped Dash grow in different places. So this is a decentralized autonomous organization in work. This is putting some of that treasury money into the use of people that want to grow the Dash network around the world. But what does this mean? I'll show you 3 examples of what are some things that we have achieved as a whole. And just recently we launched something that we call the Dash Fast Pass network. This means that we integrated a bunch of exchanges and trading systems around the world, so that if you want to trade, that you can move your Dash from an exchange into Coinbase, and you'll get your Dash in a couple of minutes instead of 60 minutes if you were going to move Bitcoin. But then you can withdraw your Dash from Coinbase, for example, and take it to KuCoin or take it to Whitebit, and because you might have found an arbitrage opportunity. So this is part of what we've done as a network. The German community or the European community launched a convention last year, and this was funded by the DAO as well. So they submitted a proposal, they set the goals, and then they received the funds and were able to make a convention exclusively funded by Dash. And also, I don't know if you've heard the news, but we've done a lot of groundwork in Venezuela. And this is a tweet of me. I came here actually to oversee this integration. We are integrated into one of the largest points of sale providers in the country. And this allows people to go to regular supermarkets and pay with Dash. Let me show you exactly what I mean.
That's really cool.
Here, this is the video of me paying in it.
That's so cool.
Here, let me see if it works. Apologies, it looks like my internet is being a little bit tricky, but here you go. So you can see that is the regular points of sale of the supermarket, and then they go payment method, and they place cryptocurrency, then Dash, it shows you a QR code. There's a QR code, and that's me paying. And as you can see, in seconds, the payment was completed. So, yes, we are just like the rest of the cryptocurrency world, working on trading and allowing people to speculate on it. But we've done also a lot of work on real world usage. And we've selected Venezuela because of all of the financial problems that there exist here. Like, you know, I've been here for a few months. I got stuck because of COVID. And what I can see is that when you go to pay to a shopping center, they will take your dollars, but there's no change. Also, sometimes the payment system is not working because there's infrastructure issues, like we're seeing with my internet today. And, you know, people are willing to save money on another currency that is not just the Bolivar. So we've gone from only speculation, which is what most of the crypto market is doing, into real world usage. And, you know, we've gotten some great successes like the one I just shared with you. And, you know, we'll continue working on allowing people to solve the problems, whether that's moving their cryptocurrency really fast from one exchange to the other so they can do some arbitrage, or allowing people to pay or save some of their money in Dash and maybe even some other crypto, because we will be the door to crypto, hopefully, for tens or hundreds of thousands of people. So, you know, with that, I conclude this part of the presentation. And I'm not going to share my screen again because I just have a questions slide. But open to questions. What do you guys think? Do you have any questions? Is there anything I can provide more information on?
Yeah, Chill, do you have a question, or should I go?
You can go first.
Okay. So with the master nodes, that's something that I kind of watch a little, watch closely, especially in the crypto space, because I think that it's a good way to you know, earn a return, an additional return on your investment versus just like the price going up or hoping that the price goes up. You actually, you know, get a percentage back in rewards for helping keep the network secure. For a Dash masternode, I mean, 1,000 Dash, I don't know what the current price is, but I know it's probably more than what I could afford to go out and purchase right now. Are there any kinds of like pooling type things where, like, if, you know, me and 10 of my friends, like all of them, we put all our Dash together, would it equal like 1,000, you know, Dash? Could we run a masternode, or is it kind of just like only for individuals?
Yeah, well, the best way to run a masternode is to you have your, you know, your 1,000 Dash and set it up, because that's the trustless way. There are some services like Crowd40, if I recall, Neptune Dash, and there's like 2 or 3 organizations around the world that are offering people to start with lower amounts of Dash. There's also a group of exchanges, I know Whitebit is one of them, that have started to offer this service. And remember, this is fairly new. There's been like, we've been around for almost 6 years. So in the beginning, the challenge was technology. And now that technology is there, regulation is trying to catch up. And I know that some of these companies, they were like, hey, I can provide a masternode, and, you know, give me your Dash, and, you know, if you have more than 10 Dash, I'll help you be part of this. And then regulators came and say, hey, you know, you're doing this type of offer and it doesn't align with anything that we've seen. So around the world, there's different stances where some people already solved the technical part, and they're solving for the regulatory stuff. But if anybody's interested, I recommend them to go to dash.org, and you'll see we have listed there some services and exchanges that do it. And of course, the best way is if you can, pool your 1,000 Dash, and that's about 76 Dash a piece right now. But we've also heard about people coming together and doing it as groups. Of course, there's the challenge there that if we three pull the Dash together and then suddenly my internet goes out, you're gonna be like, hey, where did Ernesto go? But that's
Right.
a challenge, and so far something that I haven't seen available yet is for a decentralized way of pulling the Dash together. But hopefully somebody very smart will see this and say, hey, I can finish this and maybe go to the DAO and get some funding. Let me share that really quick.
That's the beauty of having open source code base and whatnot is if somebody wants that badly enough, they can just go and make it.
Yeah, exactly. And if you go to that, you'll see that there's a bunch of companies or organizations that are posting proposals here. This Dash delivery services is asking for 37 Dash for 5 months. There's a decision proposal by the div. There's Dash Core asking for 266 Dash for infrastructure. There's a team called Dash Watch, Dash Retail. So, the beauty of this is that any developer or group of developers can come here and ask for funds so they can develop something. And if the Dash network defines that this will help Dash grow, they can get funds. And this, is another very interesting way that these modern technologies allow people to fund organizations all around the world. And I'm always happy and proud to share not just the map that I showed you, say, hey, this is what we will do and stuff, but when I pair that with real applications, it just shows that all of this doesn't necessarily have to be, only coding. It can also mean solutions.
Yeah, and I think that's something that as someone with a background in community development and community leadership, specifically in the crypto space, that's something I've seen the Dash team do, or the Dash supporters, or kind of, I guess, the Dash community really is make a big effort of outreach and trying to pull people in from all over the world. And you can see on the map there, you guys are doing a great job of it. So before I let Chill ask her question, just like kind of a wrap up to mine was, so with the masternodes, really, it doesn't sound like there's the most secure way to run a masternode is going to be just to get the 1,000 Dash, do it yourself, run it yourself, help the network be decentralized. There are a few other options out there, but really, if you wanted to get serious about it, it might be something where you request a little bit of funding from the DAO and code it yourself. Is that fair?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not putting a word out for the companies that are out there doing it now because I don't know them very much. I haven't researched them or used them.
So be used at your own risk.
Well, what I mean is that I haven't researched it, so it would be unfair of me, say, to tell you, hey, go to this. But I would tell you research because I've heard, I've read that a couple of them are already, they've gotten investments from larger companies. So I would say that, and I don't remember really which one of them. I think they got an investment by Fidelity. So there are some that are already working and growing to make this, a better and bigger offer. And that's going to be great for both people that want to enter Dash with a smaller amount than 1,000 Dash, and for the Dash network because it will be more secure.
Okay, gotcha. All right, Chill, what do you got?
So I want to ask a question that I want you to answer sincerely and objectively, okay? So, if usually what happens is if you and I go out to a bar in Venezuela and we pay with crypto, the next day Cointelegraph will write an article that, crypto is taking over Venezuela. And I've seen this in many different countries where they overblown, these use cases. So you, as embedded in the community there and obviously working with these businesses, how much adoption do you see in Venezuela, like real adoption, and how open people are to, Dash and cryptocurrencies in general?
That's a great question. Thank you for asking it. Um, I'll reply to your question, but I want to follow up with another question. What do you call adoption?
What, just people using it, like actually walking in the store and I don't know, let's say 10 customers walk into a store, and maybe if 2 of them use crypto, to me that's already adoption. But
Okay.
if 2 weeks go by and nobody's asking for can I pay with crypto, to me that's just a novelty.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
not actual.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah. So, okay. So your definition of adoption is that it's being used. All right. So what I've seen, and I live in Mexico. I came here for a couple of weeks of work and have been here for more than 6 months. So what I've seen in Mexico and the US and all these other places where I've been is that there is no interest in using cryptocurrency other than speculation. If you go to the States, we have a couple of partners that are ATM operators, and they tell us, we sell Bitcoin and crypto when the price is going up, because people are saying, yeah, to the moon, I'll double my money and whatever. So in Venezuela in particular, that is not the case. Because of all the problems that you hear, people are open to trying out other systems, either for saving or for paying, right? So adoption means that there are places where you can spend and there are people willing to spend. We have successfully built a large network of places where you can spend. There's right now, I would say, about 1,500 places in Venezuela where you can pay with Dash and other cryptos, to be honest. And there are not as many people paying with it yet. Why? We believe because it's a chicken and egg problem. And I don't know if we have the chicken or the egg, but we already have one of the pieces ready. And what I have seen across the board is that on these more than 1,000 places that are mostly in Caracas, there's about 1,500.
Oh, we lost you there for just a sec. Oh no.
Dang it.
His connection still shows as good.
Yeah, it's gonna come back if we give it a minute.
Okay. Darn it, I was really excited about that response.
That's interesting. 1,500 stores. That's quite good, actually. And we don't have 1,500 stores in Denver, do we?
I don't know. If you look at the crypto map here, I think it's maybe, I want to say it's not even over 100. So.
Yeah, I mean, Caracas is a big city, but
yeah.
still.
I'd be interested to know if he sees the people using it growing or kind of maintaining or going down, kind of, because sometimes there's initial excitement for a new, oh, there's this new way to do it. Everybody kind of jumps in and then it sort of tails off, or if it's kind of seeing some growth over time. Hey, he's back. Last thing I heard was Caracas.
Yeah, can you hear me?
I can hear you now, yep. Oh, well, we might have lost him again.
Oh, dang it.
You
Yeah,
may,
we have a couple questions in the chat too.
it might help to kill the video.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Right.
So okay,
Right.
so yeah, so the last thing I heard was, Caracas.
Yeah. So there's about 1,000 places in Caracas, and what some of the numbers we've heard from these merchants is that we've grown from obviously no use to about 1% of total transactions in Dash, or with the supports of the teams. We continue working on making this more available for people. And what we've seen is that in the places where we put cryptocurrency in front of people, they're willing to try it out, and more than 5% come back if we're able to solve the problem.
Gotcha. So let's see here.
Just to finish that thought, what I have seen is that this ecosystem is still a niche in Venezuela, if you say, because 1,000 merchants is less than 1% of the total merchant base in Venezuela, but it's still a much bigger niche than it is in any other part of the world. So when you see news outlets saying that it's taken over and stuff, it depends on what you compare it with. If you compare it with regular retail, it's nothing. But if you compare it with the rest of the world, it's at least 100 times more than what I've seen in other places.
Okay. Well, I really appreciate your honesty and, just giving us, your own perspective there, because that's kind of what we've seen as well. I mean, in Denver, it's much smaller scale, I believe, the adoption. I haven't seen that many stores taking Bitcoin or Dash or any other cryptocurrency.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I lost the first part of your comment. Could you please repeat?
What was the first part of my comment?
In Denver, we haven't seen very much adoption, hardly at all. I mean, there's probably less than 100 businesses that accept any kind of cryptocurrency, whether it's Dash or Bitcoin. It's primarily speculation, and there's a lot on. There's a lot of developers. We have like the ETH Denver thing every year. It brings a lot of people in and some hackathons. So a lot of the people in the crypto space here in Denver, I would say, either skew towards either in investment and a speculative investment and just kind of holding it and seeing what the price does, or they're on the developer side. But there's not a ton of the crypto commerce, which is kind of what we're all about at the OpEI. Or is what we're all about at the OpEI, and so we're trying to drive that and crack that nut. So it's fun to hear about 1,500 stores in Venezuela, and people are starting to use it and learn about it. But yeah, it's that knowledge gap. I think it's still a barrier to entry.
Yeah, and I'll give you a little bit more of context if you give me another minute. I've been to a couple of large stores that take crypto, that take Dash. And to my surprise, there's a store called Tracky. I'm going to write here the name so you can Google. So, I went to this is a chain of store with it's kind of like Walmart minus the food. And I visited like 5 of them in different parts of Venezuela, and I always go when I'm kind of preoccupied that when I say I'm going to pay with Dash, they'll be like, "What are you talking about? Get out of here!" But in all places, they know what I'm talking about, and anecdotally, the cashiers, they tell me that they see a couple of people per week paying with either Dash or the orange one. So it is, I mean, it is an option for people to pay. And for me, what this means is that in a place with a broken economy, where payment systems are not working properly, where there's, you know, there's about 5 million Venezuelans out of 30 outside of the country. So this is a means that you can send money across geographies. So this can provide an option for people where they need it. So for me, this is really important. And it means that, yes, Bitcoin, Dash, and crypto is good for speculation, but it can also be good to solve some problems.
Right. Yeah, that's awesome. I second what Chill said. I really appreciate your being candid with us and honest about it. And it sounds like it's starting to pick up there a little bit. And if the situation, the financial or the fiscal situation there stays the same, it's probably going to continue to pick up, would be my guess.
Yeah, I mean, the situation in Venezuela changes very much about every 9 to 12 months. So nobody knows what's going to happen in the next year. But, you know, this has allowed, and I know for a fact that we've put Dash and cryptocurrency in front of close to 100,000 people through different means. There's about 80,000 Dash wallets. And we've done events where, you know, I presented in front of 1,000 people. So, you know, it's what we're discovering is that, number one, it is still not as easy to use as it should be, because, you know, people listen to it and they need it, but they don't go running to use it. Number two, you need to have a wide network of places to spend it, because, you know, 1,000 places is still nothing. And this supermarket that I shared with you was the first supermarket. Before, it was mostly about, you know, fast food, some restaurants. And, you know, if you're trying to solve a payments problem, it's not necessarily for the people that are buying non-essential goods. So our hypothesis is that now with supermarkets and the other growing ecosystem, we'll see more use. But I guess, you know, we'll share more results and more of this data as time goes by.
Yeah, no, we will be watching for sure and following you guys' progress. So let's see, we got 2 questions in the chat here. The first one was from a few minutes ago, and it's, where is it here? Oh, do you have a recommended wallet, a Dash wallet for, what does it say? Do you have a recommended active transaction wallet? So I guess that would be, if I have a little bit of Dash and I want to send it or spend it, is there a recommended wallet that you would recommend, or few wallets?
Yeah, well, there's the Dash wallet that you can download for the App Store or from Google Play. And then there's a bunch of other wallets. Electrum wallet is also very good with Dash, and they work. They actually get some funding from the DAO sometimes. I know that, you know, Uphold also uses Dash. There's Exodus. You know, there's a bunch of wallets out there, but the one that is developed by the same team that develops the currency is the Dash wallet.
Okay, and if I wanted to get a link to that, would I go to dash.org or?
Yep. Yeah.
Okay, so I would go to dash.org, and I'm just doing it. Sorry, I'm speaking out loud here. I'm going to actually put a link into the YouTube chat so everybody can.
You can go to dash.org and look for individuals, and there you'll find downloads page.
All right, I'm going to link it here in the chat. All right, there we go. Okay, second question from George Stephen Gill. he was asking if you could elaborate a little bit more on the crypto status in Mexico. You gave us a really good update on Venezuela. I don't know, are you as familiar with kind of the adoption or any? I guess any of your thoughts on how crypto is viewed in Mexico would be great.
Yeah, of course. I actually live in Mexico, so I'm very familiar with
that's right, you said that. Sorry. Yeah, no, go for it.
Yeah, so Mexico is the behavior of crypto users in Mexico is quite similar to that behavior in the US and other speculation parts of the world. There's a couple of large exchanges. The biggest one is called Bitso, and there's some emerging exchanges. We're listed on a couple of them. Tauros is one that we work with a lot. So in total, there's, I think about, I would say that less than 2 million accounts, crypto accounts, if you add up all the exchanges in a country with 120 million people. So adoption is still less than 2%. But Mexico being one of the largest places in Latin America, it has become a fintech hub for Latin America. So while still there's less than 2% of the population signed up to an exchange, there's lots of exchanges, there's lots of projects, and there's lots of development going on in there. We actually launched with Tauros the first crypto debit card in Latin America. I think we launched that in March or April. I'm sorry, I'm totally lost in the year. This COVID just made me lose my. But I think it was last quarter or the one before, we announced alongside Tauros the first crypto debit card in Latin America. So yeah, well, it's another approach. There is more about speculation and providing tools for people to accept crypto, and it was also great. With Tauros, we allowed them to grow 10x their user base, and what we've seen is that this debit card gives you dash back when you spend money in it. So what we saw is that a lot of people signed up to it. They topped up the card, and then when they received their dash as a dash back, they started accumulating dash and holding it. So it was a very good way to onboard people to dash and other cryptocurrencies. And I guess that's about the type of growth that you'll see. And to give you a comparison, to try to put apples with apples, remember I mentioned that in Venezuela, the merchants were getting around 1% of people spending where there is a place to spend. And then in Mexico, there's about a little less than 2% of people overall signed up to exchanges. So, when you see things across the globe, you will see that some geographies behave somehow similar on the way they see crypto. So, I think we have, and when I say we, I don't mean only Dash, I mean crypto enthusiasts. We have many hints or many leads that we're seeing to be happy and be with a lot of hope for the growth of this ecosystem. But we also need to understand that a lot of work needs to happen, and it's not going to happen overnight. And definitely, it doesn't mean that after one integration or one work you're done. There's a lot of things that need to be built and worked and communicated. And I hope that we continue doing that here and in different places.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think we're all on the same page there. We just want to see people have an alternative option to kind of the established way of using finances and financial system. And cryptocurrency is an amazing way to kind of explore some of the different ways that a more equitable and distributed system might work. So I'm with you there. See here, Chill. What was your question? I saw some.
No, I saw a question in the chat. Which debit card provider is available in Mexico to spend Dash, I suppose?
Hi.
Oh, hey. Yep. Did you hear Chill's question? It's from our chat, actually.
I'm sorry, can you repeat it?
Can you repeat it, Chill?
Yeah. Which debit card provider is available in Mexico to spend Dash or crypto or?
Yeah, you can go to Tauros.io and you open an account with them, and then you can order a crypto card, which I actually have here. If you give me a second, I'll show it to you. So
I'm assuming there's a little bit of KYC with that when you sign up.
yeah, can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, sorry, I just ran to the other room to get my card. So
Okay.
So this is Tauros card, and it's
Yeah.
basically
Don't show us the numbers.
yeah. So it's basically a Visa card, and you log into their site. You open an account, and it works just like any other debit card. You can either top it up with pesos, or you can convert your crypto to pesos and then have it there to be spent. So, like
Very
I told
cool.
you, we love real use case, and this is, just another way for people that are trading, if they want to use some of their funds for buying a coffee, or fun fact, we saw a guy that bought a car with it. So yeah, people are putting their crypto to use.
That's awesome. And I wonder, and this might be my own ignorance, but I wonder what the numbers are for people using these kinds of crypto debit cards, because I know there's a few different ones you can get here in the States as well. And so it's like, in my mind, you're kind of technically you're spending your cryptocurrency. You're just doing it through the legacy system and Visa. But it's like, is that adoption, or is it really? I mean, I think the hardcore crypto people would say, well, no, it's not adoption, because you're not able to spend your crypto directly. You have to, go through Visa. But at the end of the day, I have X amount of cryptocurrency, whether it's Dash or Bitcoin or Ethereum or whatever, and I'm spending it through this card. I would say that probably counts as adoption, but I've never seen any numbers on the amount of people that are using it that way versus like the QR code method that you showed in your video.
Yeah, well, I cannot disclose the number of Tauros. I can tell you that they grew their user base more than 10 times when they launched this card, and it was a serious success for them. And we're very happy to continue working with it. And there's something that the recent narrative about how Bitcoin is only a store of value and nothing else. I think that actually hurts the ecosystem, because if you have something that people just want to acquire but nobody wants to use, then that stops the development of so many other cool things that can happen. So, I believe we all read that title of peer-to-peer electronic cash, and cash can have many ways of being valuable, and for me, it goes beyond just storing it and hoping it will grow. I think you know, we are here because somebody built platforms where you can acquire it better. Otherwise, we would still be fighting with Mt. Gox type of exchanges. We're also because, you know, people are allowing us to communicate and tip each other on tipping platforms, that plugins that work with Twitter and so on. So, you know, I think it is great when people want to store value, but it makes it even better, and you know, it helps everyone to grow when people are putting their crypto to use. So I believe if you spend it through a debit card, it's still using.
Yeah, no, I would agree. I think any kind of, you know, where somebody's aware of any time there's an increase in the awareness, that's a win in my book. And yeah, so awesome. Well, we're coming up on an hour here. Is there any final thoughts? Or, I mean, I want to thank you first for giving us some of your time here tonight and explaining it to us, Chill and myself, and to our community. I know we had quite a few people in there, pretty excited to hear from you. But yeah, any final thoughts? I'm going to post your Twitter information in the chat so people can follow you and stay up to speed on what's happening. But yeah, I'm going to turn it over to you for final thoughts, and then we'll probably wrap it up.
Yeah, thank you. Well, number one, I forgot to tell you throughout the interview that if you hear that little whistle in the background, it's there's some little frogs in my family's backyard. So that I promise it's not me. So, well, I would ask people to follow us on Twitter. We are at _pay, and that's our Twitter handle, Instagram, and LinkedIn. So you can follow us for updates, and you know, just come hang out. You'll learn a lot about what we're doing in Dash. There's lots of things that are happening for traders, for people that want to get loans in Dash, use their Dash in different ways, see how we're applying this cryptocurrency technology all over the world. And, you know, drop your comments. And what I really believe is that this cryptocurrency community will grow and get stronger as we use it to solve real world problems and as we share our experiences. So I would, you know, again, thank you and everyone who made this possible for the time. And, you know, more than happy to come again, hopefully with a better internet in a couple of weeks when I go back home. And, you know, if you have any questions in the meantime, you can always ask me on Twitter, and I'll be more than happy to respond and share more information, pictures, and anecdotal information from all this time that I spent here in Venezuela and Latin America. And I hope to see you guys soon.
Yeah, no, we'd love to get an update from you and see and check in. So we will make that happen for sure. So yeah, Chill, any final thoughts there before I go into my little ending spiel here? Nope, I think you're muted.
Just wanted to say thank you for the update, Ernesto.
Thank you, Chela. Thank you, Matt.
Yeah, yep. You're very welcome. And yeah, and we look forward to speaking with you here soon. So yeah, guys, that's going to do it for tonight. Just as a parting last minute reminder here, you know, this event is put on by Chilla and myself. We're the two founders of the Open Economy Initiative, and we're, you know, promoting crypto commerce through education. And to that end, we have a course up on Udemy where you can learn how to buy Bitcoin using an app on your phone and then transfer it to a hardware wallet where it'll be very, very safe. And since everybody was kind enough to come out tonight and support Ernesto in our live stream, I'm going to be dropping a coupon code in the chat there. And if you go to that link, you can actually get the course for free. And all we would ask, you know, if you do go through it, leave us a review on there. and let us know, what we can improve, what you liked about it. But that's totally free. Normally, I think it's about $35. But yeah, check that out, and we will see y'all on Tuesday when we're talking with the RSK team, and I think Sovereign and some other people about Bitcoin DeFi. So that should be a good one. That's going to be Tuesday, November 17th at 7 p.m. Mountain Denver time. And we hope to see y'all. And thank you, everybody, for coming out. That's it for tonight. Bye.
Bye.